Hi guys, it's me Jake.
And me Nick.
And we're here to talk about everything, the big buzz about town.
The myWW.
The new programs.
It launched earlier this week. So what we've known and, depending on who you are, loved, WW Freestyle is now transitioned into the blue plan, and you have two other options. So you have the green plan, the blue plan, or the purple plan. And we both have gone with
Purple.
the purple plan. So the reasoning behind us making this video is just kind of to chat about why we chose the purple plan, answer some questions that we've gotten on Instagram, maybe answer some questions that you're thinking about and you forgot to ask, and maybe talk about some of our hesitations to it, but ultimately we chose it, so they weren't too big. So I guess each of us will share like why we joined the purple plan. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit here, Pat Cooper, and listen to you. Tell us your story, Jake.
Okay, so when I first heard about the programs, I was like, ooh, I can't do purple. Like, 0 point pasta and potatoes, that sounds like a slippery slope.
Yeah, because in my mind I'm thinking like unlimited loaded mashed potatoes, but like really that's not the case.
Yeah. But then when you first go to choose, one of the new programs, it showed me the smart points on all three, like my daily smart point allowance. And then it started to get me thinking, the smart points were almost 20 points lower than what I was doing on blue or freestyle. So with blue, I was with 53 points, and purple, I was at 37. So I was like, wait a second. And I was thinking about it, and I said, maybe this is for me, because with freestyle, I was saving and like hoarding my points, and then like having like 15-point desserts and stuff at the end of the night.
Almost like forcing yourself to eat so that you could get up to the blue dot range.
Yeah, and then I was like reading through the 0 point list for purple. It's like, yeah, potatoes are 0 points, but French fries aren't, and whole grain pasta is, but Nick doesn't like pasta, so like we have pasta like maybe once a week, and
With
like
that.
we were already incorporating potatoes into our diet like 2 to 3 times a week, and still being on track with blue. So for me, I was like, maybe I should do this so I have less points. Like, this might be so much better than me, because even on days that I like max out on pasta and potatoes and just go wild, like I'm still eating less points than I would have in a week on blue than I am on purple, because like today, for instance, I've had like 30 points worth of food, and if I would have tracked, I had rice at lunch and quinoa at lunch and oatmeal this morning, I would still be at like 45 points.
Normal portion sizes.
Well, yeah,
it's
like,
not like
yeah.
It's not like we're eating 6 cups of rice.
No, yeah, it was a cup of rice,
Right.
a quarter cup of quinoa, and then a half cup of dry oatmeal this morning. So that's, I don't know the points off the top of my head, but that's still, it would be, even if I was on blue, I'd be eating significantly under what I was allowed to on blue. So I think having less guardrails is actually giving me more guardrails, because I'm thinking more critically about how I'm using my points and focusing more on like healthier fats and just things I should be, instead of like picking out on processed foods.
Right.
So,
yeah. So when Jake was thinking about the purple plan, the tea, my personal tea with myWW is this. So as an ambassador, we actually got early access to myWW for just about 6 weeks, I would say, prior to the launch. Yeah, 5 or 6 weeks. So not like a super long time, but a long enough time to like get comfortable. So I decided, like, freestyle wasn't working with me because I felt that I was overeating 0 point foods. In reality, I wasn't. I was just overeating.
it's true.
So I decided, okay, what I need is like intense guardrails. I need like bowling with bumpers, and I need those bumpers to have bumpers. And so I thought that would be green. So I spent this entire 6 weeks focusing on trying to make the green plan work for me. But it actually had the adverse effect, because I had gotten so used to not tracking certain foods like chicken breasts and eggs, which I wasn't in the grand scheme overeating. Yeah. It wasn't that I was overeating.
It's true.
And I was now in a situation where I had to track literally every morsel I was eating.
So you thought you needed bumpers, but ended up
right. But
what
then
happened is you just got burnt out.
Well, yeah, I got burnt out, but I also started to resent the program in a way, because I was like, I just feel like I'm chained to my tracker because I have to track every little thing. And then I was getting even more smart points than I was on freestyle, and I just let it lead me down a slippery slope. Like I would have potato chips, then I would have something sweet, then I would have something salty, then I would have something sweet, and then I'd get to a point where I was like, well, I need to track this. Well, there's no way to track this, so I guess I'll just start back tomorrow. And this went on for those 6 weeks. Honestly, it went on longer than that, if we're being truthful here. And I just kept gaining weight and gaining and gaining and gaining and gaining. And the real steaming hot personal tea is, ever since I started at workshops, I have been gaining. And that's the tea. So, with that being said, on launch day of myWW, I asked Jake, what program are you thinking about? And he started talking about Purple and what he told you guys about what he was thinking, and it made me think that maybe this is what I need. I talked to Jake, and then I was talking to my mom a little bit. She's also on WW, and
all these conversations happened after he publicly announced he was on green.
Right.
On Instagram.
I thought this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. But so I talked to them about it, and it just, for me, it just makes more sense. And this is my rationale behind it. It is similar, where you don't have as many points to get reckless with during the day. Like having few points. Never on WW have I had points in the 30s, just because, one, I'm a guy, and two, there ain't nothing small about me. So I got more points until I get skinny mini. And I've never had points in the 30s. So it makes me really make conscious decisions.
And what did you go to? What were your points on blue?
On blue, I had 69 points.
No, that was on green.
On green. On blue, I had 50 something.
Okay, and now you're down to
37? 30 something. 30 something. So it's making me make very conscious decisions and determinations about the food that I'm eating. And those 0-point foods are whole grains. So whole grain pasta, potatoes, but also vegetables and black beans. And yes, if I eat those things in mass quantity, I could potentially see a gain, but nothing about my eating history has ever said that I'm going to eat those things in mass quantity. And like Jake said, I'm not a pasta person. The only time that I eat pasta is when we, if we go out to eat with his family to the Olive Garden, just being real. Or if we make pasta at home and he wants it really bad.
But it's usually a side.
Yeah.
We'll make a grilled chicken parm and then have a side of pasta.
But we usually use carbonara or reduced calorie pasta. We're already making those opt-outs. But yeah, so I looked at and evaluated the 0-point food list and realized I'm not going to overeat these foods. These aren't danger food. Oh, bye girl. He was tired of my story. He said, your tea is too hot. I got to go. Bye. But those 0-point foods weren't going to be tempting enough. So I guess essentially what I'm saying is that my rationale was because, like you said, less guardrails have actually created bigger guardrails, because those processed foods aren't 0 points. And so I only have 30 points. The amount of points that I have now is what I would spend at Taco Bell, and I would still have points for dinner.
Yeah. The amount of points I have now is what I try to roll over, to be. I would try to eat and have, at least 30 points for when I got home.
Right.
So I can have dessert and dinner, and now it's no, I,
right.
I feel a lot more balanced, and
we've been on
it's Wednesday, so this is our third day.
And I haven't felt this in control of my journey in quite a while. So I'm very hopeful and very excited. But yeah, I agree. Like,
yeah,
this doesn't allow me the opportunity, which is good. Doesn't allow me the opportunity to like mess up a Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Like if I'm gonna do that, I have to make some pretty serious decisions during my day and like really take the time to prep it. I think the other things that we were talking about when it comes to potatoes was it's not really going to be an issue because potatoes are such a freaking hassle.
Yeah.
I feel like to peel, to get ready, to wait to cook. Like that's not like an easy, quick, convenient food that I'm gonna get in trouble with.
Yeah. When you can only eat potatoes so many times in a week.
Right.
Like we are already eating it like 2 to 3 times a week as is. I don't see things changing much more. Though I do want to try like a chicken stuffed sweet potato situation. I saw something on a Weight Watchers website. That's beside the point though.
But yeah, so I think that answers the question for the ones that I got that we're talking about. Like, are you fearful that you're going to binge? How are you not going to binge? It's just simply that I'm not someone who is going to binge veggies. I'm not going to binge eat fruit. And even in the event that I do, I'm glad that I binge eat that and not a bag of potato chips, or that I'm making the conscious decision to eat a lot of like healthy foods.
Yeah, I do find myself binge eating fruit sometimes, but
like little oranges,
like clementines. But for me, like
at least you get your vitamin C.
That vitamin C, but it's healthy. It's my nicotine gum for candy, like
because they're so sweet.
They're sweet. It helps me with that sweet tooth. So
I would rather you eat 8
exactly
of those clementines a day than have a Snickers and a cookie and this and that. And at the end of the day,
and like I mean, I do get down with Smart Sweets, but
right. But when it comes
I don't want to be eating candy all day. But sometimes like like with lunch today. Like, I was like, I need a dessert. So, like, I pulled an orange out of my work bag.
Right. And I know that WW isn't like, their science isn't just calories. But if you want to boil it all the way down to the age-old calories in, calories out.
Yeah.
8 clementines is going to be much less calories than Snickers and Snickerdoodles and whatever. So what was one of the questions you got?
One of the questions I got was, are we still weighing 0 point foods?
No.
No.
I don't weigh 0 point foods because that makes me feel like I am chained to my tracker. But
Yeah.
some people do. Some people all throughout freestyle needed that accountability. But to be honest, like I'm not scrolling through my tracker to see what I ate and seeing. Like I'm not that analytical.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna track it so I can see how many points I have left, see what I can have.
But like we're also not wilding out on portions, like
Right.
because we might not be weighing it, but we actually kind of are because like
We'll use,
oatmeal we're like scooping out half a cup.
Right.
Like with pasta, like we're measuring out to the whatever the recipe is.
Right.
Like the rice we had with our bowls this morning, like I scooped like cups, and like the beans just to portion it out so we had equal portions. But like it's also helping us, like we're not wilding out on these things.
And we're using like a normal size glass containers to take our lunches to work, so that obviously helps our portions because we cannot have something larger than those dishes.
Yeah, and honestly, I could never wild out on a lot of brown rice. Like that just seems heinous.
And whole grains fill you up faster. That's something else that I don't think some people realize is that whole grain pastas and like oatmeal. Brown rice and oatmeal, like those fill you up faster than processed bleached grains.
Yeah.
I believe you had another question.
I had a couple more.
What were they? Do you remember?
Yes. Someone asked if we knew if you can switch in between programs.
Yes.
Which you can. They also followed up and said, like, can I switch to green one day because I am going to dinner? I wouldn't recommend that. I think you can switch, but I would
stick with it.
You should stick with it for a week or two. And like if you know you're gonna have a wild week, like you're like going out, maybe switch to a different program that like fits that better. for us though, I don't foresee myself switching for like anything like that, or even like the holidays. I'm just going to live within my program.
The like official recommendation is that once you switch, is that you at least stay with the program for 2 weeks in order for your body to get used to it, because again, WW is based on science.
Yeah.
And each of these programs are a little bit different. There's less 0-point foods, there's more points, there are certain 0-point foods opposed to other ones. So your body has to have time to get used to that. And switching it, I believe like switching it every day is going to really mess up your just your rhythm.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get used to, on green, I track this, I know this is this many points. There's nothing more empowering to me, at least on this journey, than like being able to just off your hand, like, okay, egg 0 points, brown rice 0 points. This is going to cost me this many points, and just going to town.
And honestly, if you know you're going to have like a wild night out, go into the dinner, plan for it and use those weeklies. You know, you don't have to blue dot every day. So that's what I plan on doing. And you know what? After like 2 to 3 weeks, if I don't feel like purple's working out for me, I will definitely be switching to
back to blue.
Maybe I'll try green. Who knows? Probably not. But honestly, especially with all these new programs, I really recommend just trying them all. You know, for a couple weeks, find one that works for you, but don't feel anchored down to your first choice, because he didn't.
Yeah, I did not.
Another question I've gotten, this was before you publicly announced you were purple, was like other couples that are on it and like being on separate programs. And I mean, we were on separate programs for 6 weeks, and
when I was doing green,
and everything was fine. We just tracked differently.
So basically, what would happen is he was on freestyle, so he would tell me how many points his meal was, and then I would figure out, like, if it was chicken, I would just make sure that I weighed the chicken just to add those points to what he had already calculated.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I don't think it was that significant. I guess the only place that it could get tricky is if you have someone who's on purple and a different color, and you use, like, potatoes and whole wheat pasta a lot. That could get, I guess, a significant point difference. But I don't think that... don't let it stress you out.
Yeah. Because, like, at the end of the day, if you really look at the program...
They're all very similar.
It's all very, like, you could eat the same things within the points. Because, like, at the end of the day, like, when we were on blue-green, I feel like our points washed out to be about the same.
Point,
when we were eating more, like, on Saturdays when we were having, like, the same thing for breakfast and, like, lunch. Because... we were eating the same things, and, like, I just wasn't tracking it. He had more points to track the chicken and the other 0-point things. I had less, so, I just think it's all, the different programs are all about mindset and what kind of personality you are, if you need to portion everything out. If you need to feel you have more guardrails, if you need to feel more freedom.
That's a good point. Like, myWW is the program, so the science is behind myWW.
Yeah.
And each plan is kind of your personality. What is your personality with food? Are you someone who needs a lot of guardrails and you need to track everything you eat? Then that's green. If you're someone who's kind of in between, that lean proteins, you're not going to binge eat lean proteins, but you still need some accountability, that's going to be blue. But if you're someone who, well, I don't even want to say that doesn't need as much accountability, because I think purple offers even more accountability for the fact that, like, you can't, if you're someone who is trying to get away from processed foods, I guess, purple would be a plan for you.
I really do think...
Because it does encourage you to eat more whole foods.
Yeah. I do think purple... Like, I'm glad I did freestyle for, 7-8 months before I did purple, because I feel like it really trained me to be on this mindset. I feel like if I would have started out on purple, I probably would have overdone it on the potatoes and the pastas, but, like, I have such a trained mindset now.
Right. And that's the experience that people who were on WW previous to freestyle experience when we got to freestyle, because we had this training of like, everything has to be tracked, everything has to be tracked, everything has to be tracked. And then we got to freestyle and they were like, hey girl, that corn, don't track it. Those black beans, don't think about it. Chicken, eat, gobble gobble.
Yeah.
And we were like, I have to track it. But now I'm in that freestyle mindset, and then I went back to green and I was like, you want me to what?
Yeah, honestly, the wildest thing is that you have to track corn on green. I could never do green just because of that.
You have to, well, before freestyle it was not a 0 point food.
Well, I don't know life before freestyle, so.
Life before freestyle. Any other questions you got?
No, that was it.
I'm trying to think if there's like any questions or like hesitations that you might have. Any hesitations I have. I just know that I need to get my butt to a workshop, which will be this coming Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm still digital only, but we'll see.
Which works for you.
Yeah.
I was doing studio for accountability, and so I think I'm just going to keep doing it, even though I have to show up for it to be accountable.
I mean, I would like to do studio, like, for the accountability and, like, the community of it all, but it just doesn't really work with my schedule.
Yeah, so I need to pick one that works with my schedule, because now I have 2 jobs and going to grad school, so the only night that I have free during the week is going to be my meeting night.
Yeah.
So then I'm going to be fully booked 7 days a week.
I'm not going to see you. It's fine.
I'll pen you letters and mail them.
I'll just be here
I'll
making my
tuck them
0 point pastas and potatoes.
Tuck them in Cooper's collar and send them home.
Carrier Cooper.
But this is why we chose purple and why purple works for us. In the comment section down below, tell us what plan you went with and why you went on, why you chose that one.
And why you're excited about that one.
Yeah. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when we're getting wild, press the thumbs up button, and follow us on Instagram. I'm Poppy Has Goals.
I'm Jake's WW Journey.
And thank you for making it this long in our video.
Yeah.
I'm sure we needed a few commercial breaks, but you can go to the bathroom now because it's over.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time right here on our YouTube channel. Goodbye.
Bye.